It's time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicky Brackens. Vicky Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. And sitting in for Vicky is the friendly neighborhood advisor, Mike Jennings. Mike, how are you doing today?
Yes, back again. I'm good. How you doing, George?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Had a really good time over the recent holiday span, and so just excited to continue this new year.
Exactly. New Year is very exciting. You can get into a lot of new things, try out new things, and it's just that time of the year where, you're fearless. Everybody feels like they're fearless. So, if you've been thinking about something, starting something, just go out and do it. Everyone's starting something new.
So
Um,
let me just tell you this. Last week, I finally made it to the gym.
uh,
Finally. And it's so funny because I could not find a parking space. There were people all over the place, and I could not find a place to park. I said, "Oh, this is that. I'm gonna get in shape. New Year's crowd. They won't be here next week, so I'll just wait it out and see." But you had a plan for that. What's your
I'm
plan
about
for
to,
that?
you beat me to the punch. I did not. I did not. I
No, 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 no,
said,
no. You already told me what you was gonna do.
yeah, what was it?
You said that you were gonna start on February 1st,
Hmm.
so you wouldn't get into all of the rest of the
Yep.
stuff.
Let the New Year's resolutionists, the ones that are gonna fall off, let most of them fall off, and then I'll be back in. Because one thing I hate doing is waiting. I hate waiting for the machines. Have to clean it off when people don't clean it off. So I just want the regular people in there, and I'll just join them.
Am I sensing diva-ish stuff here? Like what? I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to clean off the machine. What's that about, Mike?
You're right. I honestly, I just need to get in there. I just need to get in there. Yeah, so that'll be good. That'll be good in February. But for today, for right now, I wanted to talk about something pretty amazing that I seen in the news recently.
Okay.
George, have you seen the news with Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
So now, money making, what do you know, Floyd Money Mayweather, right?
Money
Like he
Mayweather.
always showing you he got $2, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
he need to come see Vicky, by the way, because she would help him with all that. But anyway, I understand that didn't he like give his son a building or something like that for his birthday?
Yeah, it was actually was his grandson. So he entered into an agreement to purchase a building in New York City, Manhattan's Diamond District.
Okay.
Now I believe this building in particular, it was over 20 million just to purchase this building. But yeah, like you said, a few days after that came out, he posted a video of him telling his grandson KJ that the building was his, so that he was going to own that building and everything that comes with that. How amazing is that?
That is amazing. And I think this is on the idea, I wonder what Vicky thinks about that, because this is on the idea of building generational wealth.
Yeah.
And now, very interesting, he skipped the son. Maybe he's doing something else for his son, but he
That's a whole nother episode. Actually,
okay.
it's his
Something
daughter's
there.
son.
There's something
Yeah,
there.
that's a whole other episode.
Okay,
That's
okay.
the hot topics segment. You're gonna need a new segment for that one. Um, but yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. This just outside of this like major purchase and investment, Floyd Mayweather whatever gripes. I know people have their opinions about him and then, how he goes about doing things, but that is just something that is amazing and something that we don't really see as far as not just a wealthy black person, but someone also actually continuing on and passing on that black generational wealth. Black wealth does exist. But for a lot of people, especially here in Central New York, we don't really get to see the better parts of that. So just seeing that as an example is one thing. But what I did see, as far as in regards and reactions to this on social media, was a lot of people asking, how did he go about doing this? What are the implications? What does it even mean? How do you buy a minor building, right? Now the answer to that is technically a minor cannot legally or directly own a building, but they can own a trust that holds a building, among other things. So I want to come on and I wanted to be here and talk about some of those. I know we talked about in the past education planning, so we can get back into that a little bit. But how about, just going overall and building assets for minors? Can we do that, George?
Let's do it.
All right, all right. So, like I mentioned, a minor can't directly own a building or something of that magnitude directly. But like I mentioned, they can own a trust. I have a trust created for them into which they are an owner. So, have you heard of UGMAs, UGMAs as they are known?
Okay, I'm trying to think of UGMAs. I'm thinking manageable assets. What's the rest of it?
That's a
Nah,
good.
not really.
That's a good guess. So UGMAs it's named after the act actually. So it's the Uniform Gifts to Minors Act.
Oh yeah, Gifts to Minors Act. Yes.
So that's the name of the act, and
If
that's
you had
the
said that without saying UGMA, then that would have been all right. I wasn't
that's
banking at one point.
yeah, that's generally just what they call the type of account. So UGMAs allow for financial gifts to minors, and they act similar to trust. They are trust. And there's also an expanded version, a more enhanced version, under another act called the Uniform Transfers to Minors Act. So UTMAs, as those are called, those are, like I said, they're just like UGMAs, but they allow for gifting of additional, more sophisticated investments as well as real assets. So these are things like fine art, or real estate, buildings, for example, right? So this is possibly one of the ways that, Floyd Mayweather Jr. gifted his son or his grandson. You see, you got me messing up. You got me messing up. Gifted his grandson this building. So, like again, like we mentioned before, um, this is just another type of account for children. And another one that we also have talked about is 529s, right? When it comes to college planning, which is,
Hmm.
really one of the more important saving needs for children in this day and age, right? So UGMAs, these accounts were once specifically for higher education. Um, and they recently expanded to also allow for private primary and second tuition as well. Now, these accounts have become more popular than UGMAs or UTMAs accounts after they've been introduced. So let's talk about some of the key differences to some of these, right? So with a UGMA or UTMA, the account is actually owned by the minor. So, yes, with your child of yours, grandson, grandchild, you open this account and the account is in their name. They are the owner. And they will only have full control of this account once they turn 18. Now, the person who created this account will likely be the custodian, and they can make withdrawals or do any sort of financial decision on behalf of the beneficiary, which is the owner, being the minor in this case. And they can only make decisions that benefit the minor. Now, any adult citizen of the U.S. can gift assets to this account. So this is a great way if you have a child and they have a lot of family and they want to give them gifts and things of that nature, you can just open this account and you can send them a link and they can make gifts right to that account. And you know that it's going to a good purpose as well. Now, in terms of education planning, these assets inside this account, will be owned by the minor and that will be weighted against them if they were to seek, financial aid when it comes
Right. I
to
was going to say this.
going to
Right.
college.
They own an asset worth $20 million. FAFSA is not going to be trying to hook you up.
Mm-mm. FAFSA is turning you around and saying, I think you got it, buddy. I think you
Okay.
got it.
And I'm sure
Um,
Floyd probably did that already too.
yeah, listen, we gotta get back into him. Now, depending on the amount that's gifted, as far as the person that's granting that gift, you may run into gift tax, that might come into play. Um, Now, again, since we started this off with a very wealthy person, a gift tax, which a lot of people don't even really know exists, is because it really ever comes into play when you're talking about the average American citizen. I think the gift tax threshold overall, as far as lifetime, is like 13.5 million. So you would have to reach that. You would have to reach that threshold in your lifetime before actual gifts after that start taxing you. So that may be an issue for Floyd, but for the rest of us, regular people, we're never really going to run into that problem. Now, again, since the minor owns these accounts, any earnings from investments that may be in these accounts that are above, I think, 1,250 $1,250 will be taxed. And there is also a kitty tax that most people don't know because most minors do not, make an income. But there is a kitty tax, and anything above 2,500 that the child or the child's account earns will be taxed at the rate of the parent. Now, at that point, a parent can decide to include the child on their tax return or elect to have the child or fill out a tax return just for the child, an individual tax return. Now we're really getting into the weeds as far as, the amount of money that has to be generated in order for this to even come into play. But it is also something that, is of note. So those are UGMAs, UTMAs. Now getting into the other side, again, like I mentioned with 529s, really, again, one of the major not spending, one of the major savings that people look for the children, right? So this account is owned by the person that created it. So if you create a 529 for your child, then you own the 529. The child is just the beneficiary. And again, this account can be used for most post-secondary education. So tuition, supplies, room and board, etc. Anything that is college related. As far as an expense, you can use a 529 for that. And they also have just been expanded pretty recently to also allow for expenses for private primary and private secondary tuition. So, if you have a child and they're in a private, grade school or private high school, then you can use up to $10,000 of the funds
You can
inside of
use
a
529
529.
to even go to some of the private and parochial too.
Oh yeah, trade. You can private schools, trade schools, any post-secondary, and or private secondary and primary schooling.
Good deal.
Absolutely, absolutely. So withdrawals made for these uses, sorry, withdrawals that are not made for any of those uses that we just listed, will be penalized at 10%. So it's a pretty tough hit depending on how much you take out. Again, the child will be the beneficiary of the account, giving them more opportunity to acquire financial aid since that's not going to count against them, just like we mentioned before. Again, the beneficiary can be changed to another relative if you're a minor, if your child grows up and, you know, say college just isn't for them, which is a truth. It is a truth for a lot of people. Maybe they go off to do something else. Maybe they're a famous TikToker at 18. I'm not gonna put that into your child's head, but obviously it can happen. So with this 529, you can change the beneficiary to another family member. You could even also, as far as the account owner, change it to yourself. Let's say you decide you want to go back to college and go back to school part-time and get your degree that you never earned. Use that 529. Also, this is another big one here with the Secure Act 2.0. So that was placed in 2022, I believe. Secure Act 2.0 gave another provision for 529s. So that says that after 15 years of this account being in effect, up to what is it, 35,000 can actually be rolled over into a Roth IRA for the beneficiary, right? Now this has to be done over 6 years in order to comply with the IRA contribution limit, which is it will be 7,000 this year. Um, so you could basically take $7,000 out of your 529 and put it into a Roth IRA for a child. Now that's a pretty good uh, kickstart for a child that's coming out of college, or maybe they didn't go to college, maybe they just went right into the workforce, and this could be another way for them to, again, just to kickstart that retirement savings that they're going to have to start building sooner rather than later, a lot sooner. Now, being tax deferred 529s, much like an IRA, that also means that there may be tax advantages for the donor, as far as the person putting the money or putting the funds, gifting the funds, rather, for whatever state that they live in. So contributions are deductible for donors here in New York, but for other states where I believe any states that doesn't have an income tax, so Florida, Texas, Nevada, it's like six, seven more other states like that. Those are not deductible. So overall, there's a lot of similarities with these accounts, and also some pretty big differences as well. So if you're a parent and you're looking to provide, something other than just, the regular, pinning the $5 on your kid's shirt at the birthday party, if you want something a little bit more substantial, either a UGMA, UTMA, or 529 could be a great
Okay,
way for you to
uniform gift to
start.
minors, uniform transfer to minors,
I want pop quiz.
right?
What is it?
And 529 education. All right.
Uniform gift to minors. That's what it is. Again, like I was saying, this is a great way to open an account so that other people, family members, friends, whoever wants to, give a meaningful gift to minors, they can do so, and pretty often do so on a tax advantage basis, and then start building assets for this minor that they care about. So that's pretty much it. If anyone out there has any questions about UGMAs, UTMAs, 529s, as always, your friendly neighborhood advisor is here for you. I can answer questions for you. Give me a call, 315-748-5540. Again, that's 315-748-5540. Or you can also send me an email at michael.jennings@brackensfsn.com.
All right, Michael. And we want to remind people that the Black History Month Cabaret is fast approaching,
Got me.
February 23rd at the Marriott Syracuse downtown. Get your tickets, cnyjazz.org. All right. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial member SIPC. She is America's money maven. Mike Jennings is your friendly neighborhood advisor.
All right.